Welcome to Switch Clicks Podcast, episode 87, recorded on June 7th, 2022. Today we'll be sharing our thoughts on last week's trailer for Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. My name is Dakota, and today I'm joined by Tyler.
Hello.
We are returning to Laketober's Zelda Creator Con, a weekend-long digital convention celebrating the Legend of Zelda franchise with various creators from all around the community, June 10th to June 12th.
Last year, Tyler and I did a sorta AMA, but this year, we're going so much bigger.
Introducing Triforce Trivia, a live Zelda game show experience that tests your Zelda knowledge.
Hosted by Dakota and Nathan, contestants that are randomly chosen from the Zelda Creator Con Discord will answer a series of multiple choice questions for a chance to win Zelda-themed prizes.
Bring your wisdom, muster your courage, and show your power on Saturday, June 11th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time.
Streaming on Discord and the Switch Clicks YouTube channel, check out linktober.com for more details. So last week, on the day of the release of our other podcast episode, Pokemon released a trailer for their next game. It showed off quite a lot, and then afterwards they explained a lot of new details coming to the game as well.
Yeah, I heard being fashionably late is like really good for YouTube content, so...
Yeah, and of course we are around the corner from E3 season without E3, so we'll probably know more information in the next 2 weeks or so. Probably the biggest announcement coming from that trailer was that the game is completely, quote-unquote, open world.
Hopefully. Please. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that hard to imagine that they did that, because they did the slightly open world for Pokemon Legends Arceus. Now it was kind of segregated into certain areas, and you can only explore a certain area at a time. But I can imagine that this could be a seamless transition where you don't have to go in these sections.
It better be, is all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
And just they said that there's a chance that they said, it seems like what they said means that you can do the gyms and stuff in whatever order you want. And it feels like a entirely up to you, not as like railroaded as previous Pokemon games. And if that's true, that is so incredibly hype.
There are a couple ways they can balance a game with that kind of freedom. There's there's like maybe two big ones. If the gyms always have like the same amount of Pokemon, but depending on the order you go in, they have like 6 Pokemon to choose out of. But if I go to the first gym, they have 2 or 3 Pokemon. If I go to the second gym, they have 2 or 3 Pokemon, just a little bit leveled up more.
Yeah, like level scaling, and which doesn't seem that hard. That's just making 8 teams for each gym leader, which isn't that much work, I don't think.
But if you level scale, what is the condition that the Pokemon needs to be to get into the gym? Or like, maybe that was actually a bad word. What is the condition of the Pokemon for it to scale to? Because the first gym should be pretty simple, and usually some people even over-level for the first gym. But if the first gym scales to whatever your Pokemon is, then you can just ignore the gyms, just grind out all of the games, all of the Pokemon, and then you challenge the first gym at level 60?
I guess with that, you could either do where the Pokemon just their level changes if depending on once you beat the first gym, every gym leader switches to their second gym team, and it has a preset level. Or you can do, I know some Pokemon fan games have it where they scale to your highest level Pokemon. So if you go to the first gym with a level 60, the gym leader will have their first gym team, but it will be up to level 60 as well.
Yeah, in this case you can get to level 100 before the first gym.
And then everyone would be level 100, which is nice, but at the same time, I feel like as much as I don't like grinding, it kind of dissuades grinding.
Yeah. Another comparison I have for open world is Elden Ring. So in Elden Ring, you can go anywhere and you can fight anything, but most of it will kill you in one shot, or at least scare you away. That's a good strategy for any open world game. Another strategy is the way that Zelda does it, and specifically Breath of the Wild. They went in a direction where anything that you gather from the world will not make you OP yourself as your character. It'll just give the player more experience to fight these other bosses.
Yeah.
Of course, some bosses are harder than others, but it always depends on the player's skill level rather than the game's.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that does make sense. I feel like with Pokemon, it's hard to make a really scary wild Pokemon encounter because Pokemon is really easy to cheese.
Yeah.
And I feel like as soon as you make if you make it where there's the more I'm thinking about it, the less that really matters, because in Elden Ring you can go into the first fight with the tree sentinel as a naked guy with a club and win. So exactly. I guess that isn't that big of a deal. If you're skilled enough to have your level 1 Rattata with Endeavor and Quick Attack, go for it.
Yeah. I feel like Pokemon is a lot more linear as just a game itself.
It's true.
Because what I'm worried about is for Scarlet and Violet is, sure, it's open world, but they're going to make you take this linear path, or at least they'll give you the illusion of choice, which is what they had in Legends Arceus. They had somewhat of an illusion of choice with the dialogue choices. Basically, maybe you start off the game in your town and you have 3 ways you can go. One will go to one gym, one will go to the other will go to the other. And then as the world branches off and you start to explore, there might be if you come to another branch of 3, but one of them is a lot easier than the other 2, the game is just going to push you to the easier one. Yeah. Unless you do want to go to the harder ones. But then it'll just push you to the easier one, and then you're back to a linear set.
I guess, it's hard to do it in the world and be go at it, and then you might find the easiest stuff first or not to do without it being kind of boring, like the open world in Legends Arceus. But yeah, I think with the Pokemon games, even if I hope it's not a path, almost a set path that you could follow and it's easy to follow. But it feels like that's probably the way they'll go.
Yeah. Even Elden Ring kind of has that, where at every I don't know what you call them, but Fireplace, Land of Grace, whatever it was called, Site of Grace.
What did I
feel like as soon as you miss one thing in Elden Ring, you're you're on a new path, which I feel I like that. It's I missed one thing and now I'm in this world lost, which is fun. As much as that doesn't sound fun, I hope Pokemon can do a similar thing. Another thing I think they'll probably do is, because Pokemon has a story most of the time, sometimes it isn't great, but it has a story. So I feel every town you go to has to have something going on in it. But it's not something where you can't go to a town and then find out this is a storyline that you were supposed to do 2 towns ago, missed out, but now you're in stage 2 of it as if you've done the first one. So each town has to have their own story that you figure out or whatever. Probably the best way to go about it, you go to gym, a town with a gym, and you have to save something a local bakery from the evil team or something. That's disconnected to do that first or fourth, and it doesn't really matter. But hopefully it still builds up well enough to where the evil team doesn't feel disjointed, or is hopefully actually in the game, unlike Sword and Shield.
And maybe branching off of that, I kind of have 2 points off of that. Number 1 would be I hope they kind of bring back their quest system from Legends Arceus. I just hope it's a lot more in-depth and it's not just a one-and-done situation. There's a somewhat steps to it. I think the only missions that had steps to them...
They stay in Pokemon.
Yeah, The only one that had like multiple steps was trying to find the girl that got lost, and you had to find her with the bear. I think that was the closest thing.
Yeah, or like the guys who need stuff, Pokemon in the town, like we need a water type to water the plants. We need a ground type to tow the dirt.
Yeah, and now with this new game, you have 10 or more cities to go to or towns instead of just one spot, which could be really cool.
And I really, truly hope that the open world is filled with trainers.
Yes, exactly.
Because even if you're in a blank nothing forest, a trainer gives it so much more life than just nothing.
Yeah. Even if they put you in another trap of you have to get to this spot, you have to battle like 3 trainers, I'm okay with that. As long as the trainers are there and I'm not just walking up to something and I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Another hope I kind of have is I want HMs to kind of make a comeback where like they're key items, not HMs. So like instead of cut, you get like scissors or something. Because in Pokemon, the idea of, oh, I have to come back here later, I see the rock climb wall, I can't do that now, is kind of gone from Pokemon games now. It's more like,
Yeah.
well, I'm done with that route, I'm never going to touch it again.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, the older games definitely had like, oh, in the first route or the route, there was a tree that you can't break down. But
yeah, and you're like, oh, there's a Pokeball right there, but I can't get to it. So you come back to it and you're like, oh, sweet, a TM that I'm never going to use.
yeah, that is completely absent from like the last 3 games.
It's so, well, Sun and Moon had it because they had the ride system.
Yeah.
So they had it sometimes, but you unlocked Tauros immediately in like so many cool Pokemon that just you never got to see because the route lasted 5 minutes. You're missing out on such amazing Pokemon like Phalanx and Poltegeist and even like Toxtricity to a degree because they showed up in one route that you never went back to. And that's so frustrating because you're fighting all these trainers and they have like Gen 1, 2, and 3 Pokemon that you've already seen instead of the really cool teapot that no one ever used.
To your other point previously, you mentioned the evil team. In this game, I think it would be a little bit cool for them to maybe not just have like an evil organization, but since they already confirmed that depending on which game you choose, you're going to go to a different type school. It's either going to be grapes or oranges. And that's what we theorized before that trailer even came out. It would be cool that whatever game you chose, so let's just say I choose Pokemon Scarlet, I'm a part of the orange school or whatever. Maybe the other school is the enemy team, and you could be doing Pokemon battles with them, and they're just a what do you call that?
Just
Rival
a rival
team.
school.
Yeah, a rival school. Like they have that all the time in real life. That would be honestly a kind of a cool aspect. Maybe like the principals are, I mean, probably the professors are technically principals, so that might not work.
The thing is, it would incentivize buying both games even more.
Exactly. And then maybe there's 2 different storylines, but I doubt Pokemon would go that far.
I don't think you want. I don't want that just because I really don't want to have to buy both games. That's probably good for the. Oh, actually, one more thing before we move on to the Pokemon, like the thing that people actually care about. They showed off that they have 4-player multiplayer, which is so exciting.
I just don't know how far it's gonna go. Like, is it just gonna be we're gonna have a shared world and that's it, or?
I don't know how far it will go. I'm not sure if you could just play 2 separate games and meet up sometimes. That just sounds so fun, and I hope Nintendo Switch Online doesn't ruin it.
I mean, with my experience recently, I've been playing a lot of Nintendo Switch Sports, and it's very smooth. So
yeah, I don't know what's wrong with Smash Bros.
You can ask Lex; you'll know.
Well, I know how they can fix it. I just don't know what they did to mess up Smash Bros. So badly.
Yeah.
So you're listening to a podcast. That's cool. You know what we also do? Play it by tier. Want to see us review a game? Maybe a movie. Maybe you want to see me slowly go insane by reviewing every single superhero movie in order. That's cool. That's all Play It by the tier. Go check it out.
Yeah, so I guess we can move on to the stars of the show.
The
Okay, no, I
5 new
remember this.
Pokemon.
I remember this. You have Palmy, Smoliv, Lechonk, and then the legendaries. The legendaries are named. I don't remember.
One starts with a K and the other starts with an M.
Is it Koraidon and Miraidon?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. I do remember. Yeah, let's go. Also, I'm pretty sure the legendaries were leaked, but as
Really?
as promised, still haven't seen any leaks, and I'm going into this game relatively blind, which is exciting. But
We'll
I
see how
did
much
see
he's.
comments underneath the legendaries saying like, "Oh yeah, that's what the leak was talking about, the like fighting dragon and the electric dragon or whatever."
We'll see how
They-
far that promise goes once we come to November.
Oh, it. The only way I'm getting spoiled is if Jagjeet retweets like the full Pokedex or something.
That's right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we can probably talk about the 3 smaller Pokemon. I will
Mhm.
say they are ripping at the internet's heartstrings, even
It's
with the
true.
name of the Pokemon and the design itself.
It's true. I kind of feel bad for Palmy because like Lechonk and Smoliv are so much funnier names.
I just hope the evolution of these Pokemon kind of keep into that internet love. Like Lechonk could turn into Lethic. Small Live could turn
I kind of
into
hope that
I
doesn't
don't know.
happen. I feel like the baby forms being the funny meme names and then you stay away from that is probably best because I feel like if you have Lethic, that's like okay, we get it. It's funny. It was funny at first, but also because Smoliv is a small grass type, I'm pretty sure they're going to evolve into like they're probably going to evolve into a sexy grass lady again
Yeah,
because
unfortunately. That could be
like
Lethic. That was stupid.
you have like Lilligant, Roserade, Serena. Is there other ones I'm missing? I don't know, but it's probably going to evolve into. If I have to guess, it'd actually be kind of cool if they evolve into like a Greek goddess kind of lady because they're an olive, and Athena is
Oh yeah.
into olives because
Yeah.
that whole Greek myth. I think that'd be kind of cool if their final evolution is kind of like a Greek goddess looking thing.
Yeah.
But I
It
don't
just
really
better
know if
not
that.
have like olives for eyes. That's
Oh
what I'm
wait,
kind of expecting.
oh it could be not. It couldn't be. It could be. What's the Roman gods? Not Athena. I think their name is like Venus or something. The Roman Athena. There you go. Because Rome is like Italy, and I think that's what the. I hope I'm not wrong.
Well, the region is based off of Spain.
Spain, not Italy. Dang it. Um. So I guess I don't think. Yeah, they're close because everything in Europe is close. But
Yeah.
yeah,
And the
maybe.
third one is just Palmia, and that is the Pikachu of this generation.
I kind of have doubts. I don't think it's the Pikachu clone because I think it's going to evolve. It looks like it. Every Pikachu clone, I look at it and I'm like, okay, I can see that that's not going to evolve. That's going to stay cute. But Palmy looks like he's going to evolve one more time. He's not detailed enough. He's too simple. But we'll see how the future pans out on that one.
I just want to give him like a ball so we can roll in it.
Well,
Or
technically,
stick him in
that's
a
what
Voltorb.
the last time. That's what we had. We had Morpeko, which its signature move was to run around on a electric wheel, like hamster wheel, which is pretty close.
Yeah, personally, Morpeko was kind of an ugly Pokemon, not gonna lie.
Oh, I really like Morpeko, but that's exclusively because the insane deep cut reference or like the it looks a lot like a character named Heather from the Drawn to Life games for the Nintendo DS.
What the
And
heck?
I love those games. So
That's
much.
probably the deepest cut ever. Oh, it does
It's
look like
true.
Heather. I just googled her.
Morpeko just looks like Heather, and I'm like, yo, it's like Drawn to Life. One of my up there is like Drawn to Life 2 is probably close to my favorite game of all time. So,
Dang.
but that's exclusively off of nostalgia. I replayed it and it's still fun, but it's nostalgia, and also I can draw. So, but yeah, anyway, that's my guesses are Palmy is going to evolve once, Lechonk is going to evolve once, and Smoliv is going to be a 3-stage evolution.
Yeah. So maybe as the last thing, what do you think of the legendaries? I think they're okay. I always have the same reaction to every legendary so far, and at least lately.
What team are you right now? What are you Team Scarlet or Team Violet?
I think I'm Team Violet, but I hate the logos, bro.
I think I'm definitely Team Scarlet because the legendary has legs and also a really
Yeah.
nice headdress. And both professors, I like both professors, so I'm fine to have caveman woman. Cave woman, not
I just
cave.
think the interesting thing that people pointed out that the themes are probably just going to be past and future. Like I personally
Yeah.
like looking into the future less than the past because the past already happened. Nothing new can happen in the past. So
That is true. But cave woman.
true. What about Chad, man?
I do like that the one professor looks like they go unga bunga. Either that or they're cosplaying. Like they're really into the past and they're cosplaying, which is kind of cute. Cute's not the right word. I don't know why I said that. And the other guy looks like he's gonna try to sell me crypto. So
True. Wait a minute. Oh no, they could make a crypto joke on this.
the professor is a crypto giga chad,
He's gonna sell me on his.
which I'm pretty sure is an oxymoron. Anyway, yeah, I think I'm Team Scarlet. Also, I'm not sure if this is true, but it's hilarious. If you look up the legendaries right now, or you already have them up, and look at them closely, I saw someone that said that they're willing to bet that the legendaries turn into motorcycles.
I saw that a lot online too.
And that it makes so much sense. I'm looking at that and it's like, yeah, that's gonna turn into a motorcycle.
And a motorcycle could be your like vehicle for the open world once you finish the game. Big brain.
Yeah, that's true. You have like the Scarlet Legendary, which will turn into like a Harley, and the Violet Legendary, which will be some sort of futuristic flying bike.
Like hover
Try
jet
to
thing.
imagine.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
It might look they might look stupid, but I kind of like when legendaries look stupid. So I'm 100% down for it.
And obviously, it's not anything new because Latios and Latias were also you can also mount them and fly around, at least in Auras.
Yeah, that's true. But they didn't turn into motorcycles, so
I mean, they turn into jets.
you're gonna get the legendary. It's gonna be like a transformer. It's gonna go.
That's even if they have sound effects in their cutscenes.
It's true. It might be completely. It might be just be. I don't know how long I should stay silent for until the joke becomes funny.
I don't know if you cut out or not. I couldn't tell. I think it cut out for me. You just said it might just be, and then you cut out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's no sound. It might just be.
Oh. I did not. That did not render at all. I do want to mention, I still hate the logos. They are garbage. They did add a slight black stroke to the outside of the bright yellow. It still looks garbage. They also added like a bunch of illustrations to the outside. It still looks garbage. Why did they pick the worst font ever for Violet? It's horrendous.
I do agree. It doesn't look very good, which is another reason that I'm Team Scarlet. And also, oh yeah, speaking of the box art, I saw another thing online where someone said that this is like technically the first Pokemon game where the Pokemon face away from like the legendary Pokemon face away from themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Every other Pokemon game they face towards themselves, except for Gold and Silver, where they are looking at each other but facing away, and like the original games, but they're not legendary, so they don't count.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it means anything. Fans are just looking into
I think they
into
just
it too
hate each other.
much.
I think that's going to be the. I think there's the legendary. They just hate each other a lot.
We're both motorcycles, but we're made in different times. We hit each other.
Thank you for joining us in discussing Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's new trailer. Off the top, if you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications for the next time that we upload. If you want to join the Discord server in the description, go ahead. That would be Poggers. And see you next time on the Switch Clicks podcast. How did I do?
Actually, that'll work.
Okay, you better keep in the Poggers.